Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on December the 13th, 2019. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual here, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. And in terms of the calendar, we had quite a day today. Huge, a lot of moves, a lot of volatility here in all crosses. So the two main things that happened today, one was the UK election. So we had talked about parliamentary elections coming up, and as we had discussed, we did see British pound jump up because conservatives here are, like they say, on course to massive majority. So the exit polls showed that conservatives are likely to win, and that's what we are seeing, or that's what we are scheduled to see here. So if that happens, or because of that, we did see a huge move up in British pound. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So that was one. And another thing that we have been talking about all week here has been our US and China here. So, so there was this whole back and forth here. We saw some comments that came out that said that they were very close this morning to the trade deal, and we did see a trade deal finally get signed, and as a result of that, we have seen yen crosses jump up and equity markets jump up. I'm just trying to find, I thought there was one here. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So basically, President Trump has signed the deal here. So this one says China has agreed to 50 billion in agriculture purchases. So this was one of the sticking points here. So China has agreed to that, and US and China, 7 hours ago, there was, sorry, just trying to find the one about China, or sorry, them reaching a deal. So let's take a look at Reuters here. So just want to confirm that they have actually signed this deal here. Yeah, so trade deal looks like it did get signed. Just wanted to confirm that because I'd seen the article saying it did get signed. Okay, so yeah, so the pound hit, pound went up quite a bit as a result of the exit polls showing that conservatives are going to win. And then we also have here trade euphoria also lifted Wall Street to record highs. And as we saw, United States has agreed to reduce tariffs on Chinese goods and delay the tariffs that are supposed to go on the weekend. So on Sunday, on the 15th, there were new tariffs that were supposed to go on, and that has now been delayed. As a result of that, we saw equity markets go up, and we also saw our yen crosses go up. So coming up on Friday, so those are the two main things. Now we do have a retail sales data here out of the US, which is likely to have an impact on the US, but currently those are the two themes, the parliamentary elections in UK, as well as the trade deal here that drove the market here for today. So let's go on to the charts here. Here we'll start with euro dollar as usual. We can see price jumped up quite a bit here, and as we heard about the exit polls here, price went up for euro dollar, and now we have this big gap here for euro dollar. So in this case here, we did see a jump, prices right into resistance here into 1.1200. So as long as price holds below this level here, I am actually looking for price to drop here. So if it holds below this 1.1200 level, I'm looking for it to come back down. First target would be 1.1150. Second target would be 1.1120. So bias here actually is, my bias is bearish here for euro dollar. And the main reason here is it's one of those buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal that I'm looking for here. So once the dust settles, we are likely to see the move kind of unfold, because a lot of it was already priced in, and then we saw a huge move up, and then I am looking for price to go back down. Now do keep in mind it's still hovering here around the high here, so this one could go back up here, and we could see another leg higher, either right into the resistance here, or it could even go a little bit higher and then drop. But I'm looking for price to actually come back down. But keep in mind that it could go higher into 1230 or even into 1250 area. So be prepared for that, but I am looking for things to drop here. So my bias here for euro dollar is bearish actually. Pound dollar here, this one jumped up quite a bit. It's all the way into 1.3480, went into 1.3500 or a little bit higher than that. So if you take a look here, we are all the way back into this support resistance area. So here I am looking for a bit of a move lower as well. But like I said, for euro, this one could jump, could do another move higher. So be prepared for that. So it could go into 1.3570 or into 1.3600 even. So that is the risk. So watch out for that. But then I am looking for price to reverse. So if we take a look here, this big jump here, when we heard the news about exit polls showing that the conservatives are likely to win. So here I'm looking for price to actually do one of these and then come back down. This one is 1.3520. So as long as it stays below 1.3520, I'm looking for it to drop. But be prepared that this one could make another leg higher into 1.3570 or 1.3600. And then I will look for a drop. But overall bias, my bias is bearish for pound dollar, and I'm looking for buy the rumor, sell the news. So everybody's bought the rumor now, time to sell the news. So keep an eye out for that. Aussie dollar here, this one went up as well on the positive trade data related here, and we have seen price go up. Now this one as well, my bias here is actually bearish now. I am looking for price to drop back down here as well. So with this one, first target is 0.6900, and then looking at 0.6880. So price is right into resistance here. It did try to break higher, and now I'm looking for price to drop. Now with these ones here, the market needs to align back here. So just be prepared. Sometimes we can see basically follow through moves in this one, but I'm not expecting it to go move a lot. It was a lot of the rumor stuff that was going on. So now I am looking for it to drop. So bias here is bearish for Aussie dollar as well. And New Zealand dollar, this one has also jumped up. If we take a look here, price pushed higher. It is into resistance. So I'm looking for price to basically drop here. This is where we are. So as long as price stays below 0.6640, I am basically looking for price to drop. So this is the type of move I'm looking for. So bias here is, my bias is bearish, target is 0.6570. So bearish bias for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this one has moved lower. The candle close here for the day was neutral, but with the US dollar drop here, we have seen the price move lower. Now with this one's a little bit interesting here. Price has been trading in this range for quite some time here, or in this kind of range here. Price has been trying to break down through the support level, and it's struggling with that. So here bias is still to the downside, but if it does not manage to hold below 1.3160. If it doesn't do this, then we could just see it go back up. So be mindful of that. But for now, bias here is bearish. Once it breaks through the support here, next target is 1.3130, then 1.3120. So bearish bias for dollar CAD. All right, let's take a look at commodities here. We have silver. Silver had gone up, but now it's moved lower based on the deal that we saw come through. At this point, we have a pin bar. I would kind of look at the equity markets here to see what's going on, and then trade these ones with the equity market. So if the equity markets drop, these ones are likely to go, the gold and silver are likely to go up. For now though, that's a big rejection here. If price stays below 17, this one could still turn down here. It could still come back down. So watch out for that. But should it go through the 17 level, then looking for price to go into the resistance at 17.25. But if it stays below 17, then chances are it's going to come back down towards 16.50. So bias here is neutral for silver. Gold here, same thing. We saw price go all the way up before the deal, and then we heard the news of the deal, and then a drop here. So in this case, what I'm looking at here is 1458 level. If price stays above 1458, I will look for a move back into the range here. So here I am a neutral to bullish here. Again, buy the rumor, sell the news. If the equity markets drop, I'm looking for gold to go up. So keep an eye on the equity market, see what the stock market is doing. If it starts to come back down, then our gold is likely to go up. But watch out because it could take a little bit of time. So keep an eye on the equity markets here. But as long as it stays above 1458, I'm looking for it to go towards the top of the range here, towards 1480. So right now my bias is neutral. Oil here, oil is right into resistance. It hasn't been able to break the resistance here. Again, bias is still neutral here till it breaks the resistance. Should it break the resistance, then I'm looking for a move higher into 60. But if it doesn't, then looking for a move back down, just like it's been doing for the last few days here, towards 58. So bias is neutral for oil. Copper here, copper did push up here, but it's right into resistance here. So I'm looking for a drop in this one as well. So my bias is neutral here, but we've had like such a big move up here, so we could see it drop. So if it stays below our resistance level here, 2.79, we could see a drop in this one as well. So for now, looking for a move back down towards 2.77 and then towards 2.75. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin is looking neutral here, still trading in this range, finding support into that 70-50 area. And in this case, bias is neutral. Now, if it holds above the 70-50, we're likely to see a move higher for this one. So keep that in mind. As long as it stays above 70-50, which is the bottom of the range here, I will look for it to go higher towards 76.51. So bias here is neutral for now. Let's take a look at the equity markets here. Equity markets looking positive, very, very bullish here, especially with the trade deal getting signed. Now there is bullishness in the markets here, and we could see another leg higher here. So if price holds above 31.72, this one could go higher into 31.85 or even into 3,200. But then this is where I would start looking for potential reversals. So between now and tomorrow, I would keep an eye on this and look for those reversals because again, buy the rumor, sell the news. We've been hearing about this trade deal for so long and markets being very optimistic about trade deal getting reached. But now that we have seen a trade deal come through, some of that optimism could come out. So for now, I am a neutral to a little bit bearish on this, but timing would be the issue. Like I said, it could go slightly higher, so just bear that in mind. So basically, right now, I'm just waiting for a reversal. So I'm neutral, basically, I should say. Neutral on this one here as well, which is Nasdaq. We have seen it go higher, it's 85.10. It could go into 85.50. So usually what we see is a first move and then a bit of a follow through, and then I'm looking for a reversal. So at this point, I'm neutral, just waiting to see when a market wants to turn. But I'm not overly optimistic and bullish on this because the rumor has already been bought and time to sell the news. So just wait and watch will be my strategy here. Same thing here for Dow Jones as well. It is into resistance. This one could again go a little bit higher. I would say 28,500 is sort of what I'm looking at. It could go a little higher, but it could also turn where it is. So for all of these equity markets, basically I'm waiting to see where they want to turn. They could turn where they are currently, or they could go a little bit higher before they turn. But that's kind of what I'm looking at. So neutral, my bias is neutral. I'm not super bullish on this. So the first target here is 28,350, then 28,500. But it could also turn where it is because it's right into resistance. DAX here, DAX looking bullish. We are into top of this range that it traded in for quite some time. So if price does not go through, then we could see price turn here into 13,300. So just be careful with this one as well. Again, neutral bias, as long as it stays below 13,300, I will look for price to come back down towards 13,000, and it could, second target will be 12,900. So bias is neutral for DAX as well. FTSE here looking quite bullish. This one again could go up higher into 73.60 level, but I'm not, again, overly optimistic. I am looking for a higher target, basically just to see if it will turn at that point. So this is why I'm neutral. So in this case, again, we could see a jump into the turn and then a turn. So neutral bias for FTSE as well. Let's take a look at what's going on with Nikkei. Nikkei is looking quite positive still pushing higher. So this one could go even higher. The candle is looking quite strong. Market is open right now. So still looking bullish. So net positive bias here for Nikkei. This one could go higher. It's holding above this this top of the range that it actually broke through. Next target for this one would be 24,250. So this one is still looking bullish here as well. So a little bit of a bullish bias, but again, I would keep an eye for potential turns. All right, so that's it for today. Just be careful trading right now. Still volatility in the market. Margin requirements are still higher. So be careful because sometimes price can start to turn and then go on for another leg higher. And that's what we do not want to get caught in with too much of a trade on. But for now, that's it. Guys, have a wonderful trading day tomorrow and have a great weekend. And I'll be back on Sunday with the weekly market analysis. Bye for now.